What's up everybody, welcome back to Superpower Reviews. My name is Liam Smith. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Kotobukiya Bishoujo Batgirl statue. Okay, so this review is going to be a little bit different. This is not an unboxing and just going to get straight to the review. This is the review rewind, where I go back to a previously released statue, such as this Batgirl statue, that was also currently in my collection. So let's go ahead and get started. Now the first thing I want to point out is the paint apps. Just like every other Kotobukiya statue, they do an excellent job on the paint. If you look closely here, you can see on the suit and on the cape itself, it is a very subtle metallic paint to it. It's kind of a matte metallic on the suit and more of a high gloss metallic on the cape. Both of them are absolutely flawless on the paint applications. The same goes for the gold metallic paint that they put on all of the accessories, the gloves, the boots, the belt, the emblem, all of that done perfectly. These are separately sculpted pieces, such as the belt and the gloves, so there's no paint spillover whatsoever. Now one thing they always completely nail every time is the face sculpt and the paint apps on the face. If you look closely here, you can see the details that they got into the eyes, the lips, the skin tone itself. They always get this translucent tone on the skin with a matte finish that is just a beautiful skin finish. It's kind of a pasty look to all of their characters on the skin, but that's just what they're known for in the Bishoujo line. And it just really works for these characters in this style. So moving a little further down to the hair. Just like all their other statues, they have the sculpted PVC hair. Excellent job on this. Now again, there's not a whole lot of shading. There's a little bit of darker red in between the matte red that they have here. But once again, these are supposed to be monotone colors throughout the statue. Now I want to point out about the sculpt on this overall. One thing they do really well is get natural motion and natural wrinkles and curves in all the areas of the body. If you look at the wrinkles on the boots at the bottom, a very natural wrinkle where you would see the ankle bend as she has her foot up on the gargoyle there. Absolutely perfectly natural looking. It actually looks like a leather material. Okay, so if we flip around to the back of the statue, I really love what they did with the sculpt overall. You can see it more here with the cape, the way it flips up, floating in the wind, following the same pattern with her hair. Everything about that is very dynamic, like I always say. It gives it that very action-oriented pose where she's pulling the cape over in the front as it's flipping up in the wind. Now moving further down, like I mentioned before, the sculpt work is absolutely amazing. Kotobukiya always pays a lot of attention to getting a great female form in all their statues, and this Batgirl is no exception there. Perfect sculpting on the body, perfect paint work, wrinkles in the costume anywhere you would expect them to be. Overall, it is really just flawless. Now moving around to this side of the statue, you can see a little bit more of the dynamics in the hair, where it blows up in different areas, following the same pattern as the cape. One thing they do really well with their sculpting is natural movement. Nothing is off, going the wrong direction. Everything is following the same wind pattern, blowing up the cape, blowing up the hair. Everything is done perfectly. Okay, now moving further down to the base, I love what they did here. A lot of the statues will just have the plain disc base like this one does, but they went an extra step on this one and added the gargoyle base that she is stepping up on, which does two things. It gives it a little more interest in the base itself, but it also gives her this pose where she's got her one foot up on top of the gargoyle, pulling her cape to the side, flipping up in the wind. It gives it that dynamic pose that is just absolute perfection. And as far as the sculpting and the paint apps on the gargoyle, great job on that as well. It really does look like stone. They did the light gray base coat and then gave it a dry brushed coating on top of that to give it that natural aged stone look to it. Okay, so now I'm just going to jump right into the 360-degree view, the close-ups, the scanning around, just to give you an idea of how amazing the paint apps, the sculpting, the design, everything about this Kotobukiya Bishoujo Batgirl statue is. Okay, that's going to wrap it up for this review of the Kotobukiya Bishoujo Batgirl statue. Go ahead and leave a comment below, let me know what you thought of the statue. And of course, if you're interested in picking up this statue, I'll leave a link in the description below for you. Go ahead and leave a comment below, let me know what you thought of the statue. And of course, don't forget to subscribe, that way you won't miss any upcoming content. And as always, I will see you on the next video.